You had one job, bro. You had one job. Niggas wasn't asking you to jump off no skyscrapers, jump out of a helicopter. No, nobody was asking you to do nothing crazy. You had one job. Can you get a clear win over Verb in Michigan? That was your only job you had to do. I gave you the blueprint. I did the stock drop list. I told you everything you need to know about Verb. For those of y'all that did not watch the stock drop list in its entirety, not just the honorable mentions, but actually 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There is a part on there where Verb is addressed, man. JC, I gave you the blueprint on everything you needed to know about Verb. All you had to do was watch the video and then write your raps. Watch the video and then write your raps. I'm looking at the battle and I'm like, bro, you done doubled up Verb's time and the battle is still debatable.
Are you serious right now, bro?
You done doubled up Verb's time. You done rap for 17 minutes. Verb only raps for 9.5 minutes. And you mean to tell me his material is damn near better than yours?
U2 is the third and last trip. Welcome. At 814, meet X20.
Before I get into this recap, man, let me just say this, man. There were 6 battles on the card and 2 of them did not go down. So, and the 2 that didn't go down were relatively big names in the culture. So you can't have that and trying to sell a $40 pay-per-view. I got to be real with you. So if I ask you who are the top 3 people on this card, it will probably be Clips at 1 and Twerk at 2. Twerk and Hostile Black did not go down. Twerk and Hostile Black didn't even go down. So that's one kind of top tier guy that didn't go down. And then you got Big T and Fonz. That didn't go down either. And you know what I'm saying? I'm not super crazy about a Big T battle right now, but Fonz is still someone I would be interested in watching. That battle does not happen. So these are names in this culture that people are familiar with. It doesn't go down and the pay-per-view is still $40. So like, my nigga, like, I don't know, Cal, I don't know what you're doing with that, but I'm just keeping it real. Charlie Clips and Solo, I saw that battle. That was an easy win for Clips. Clips actually had some good moments in that battle. You know what I'm saying? I thought he would just freestyle his way through but he actually wrote and had some pretty nice material. So shout out to Clips for that. Coffee Brown and Bailey Lee went down. I still haven't watched that battle. But we are here for AyeVerb and JC, man.
Now it's time for the end. To spare him, it is literally no amount you can give. I'm not just out for the win. Y'all know how dog talk. More confidence than LeVar Ball. And tonight they rolled him out on a limb. It's body bags and every bag.
Let's get into it, man. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video as always, man. We talk a lot about conviction and we talk a lot about believability. I know a lot of y'all may be like, yo, there is no believability in battle rap. None of these guys are shooting anybody. None of these guys are fighting people. None of these guys are doing a lot of things they say in they rap. Believability still goes a long way. There are a few people that actually lives a lot about what they talk about. Someone like a Surf, obviously he's in jail, he's been in shootout, stuff like that. But just your aura alone can add to the believability of your raps and it still sells. There is a difference between Geechee Gotti saying he shot somebody and Loso saying he shot somebody. Now, do I believe Geechee Gotti shot anybody? No. Do I believe Loso shot anybody? No. But there is a believability that is attached to Geechee Gotti that allows him to sell his bar more. When I look at this battle, as lyrical as JC is, I don't feel like some of his bars were sold the right way. And like I said, this battle to me is a debatable battle. I can put up multiple polls where it's 50-50 or 51%, 52% Verb and 48% JC, stuff like that. So I do look at the battle as debatable, but the battle is only debatable in my opinion because JC rapped a lot longer, like I said earlier. And I feel like JC made a couple mistakes. There is a what's the word I'm looking for? There's an expectation that I had for JC. You wanted this battle, you wanted Surf battle, you wanted Lux battle. You get Surf first, you lose badly. This is another battle in Michigan in your backyard. It's like, yo, maybe this will reignite a little bit of this Lux talk or whatever. You can battle Verb. And I just feel like he gave you a typical JC battle, which was a typical JC battle. Like if he was battling drugs or he was battling Jack Boy, he got a battle like that. You're battling Verb, and you need to like overkill in this battle, in my opinion. And I felt like he made probably a couple mistakes. There was a part in this battle where he talked about Bonnie. That battle was very old. You know what I'm saying? He talked about Bonnie waving like a dildo in his face and trying to say Verb liked it or whatever. And I felt like the battle was old, and I felt like a lot of people in the crowd never watched that battle. It was on RBE. It was probably a decade ago. I probably has a couple 100,000 views, and I just think battle rap is constantly moving. Battle rap is constantly getting new fans. A lot of people that you see in the spaces and all that. It was like a joke a while ago, like when we were talking about The Boss. I don't know if y'all saw that video between The Boss and Angry Fan, and he asked her like, yo, when did you start watching battle rap? And it seemed like she said something like 2020, 2021 or something like that. I don't know. It seemed like it wasn't that long ago, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. She didn't even see Bonnie and Verb. Like, she may have went back and watched it, but she wasn't around when that battle took place. That's just an example of someone that we know in this culture. We know who The Boss is, but she wasn't even around in that battle. He used that as an angle in that battle, and I was just like, a lot of people were sitting around like they didn't even really know about it. He also tried to talk about Verb being on drugs, and I get it. Verb was one weight and then lost weight, and you could try to come up with an angle like, yo, he's on Ozempic or whatever, or he's on drugs or whatever. But we used to think JC was on drugs. And even when you look at JC in the battle, he doesn't look more healthier than Verb. So that was another angle I felt just didn't sell well. He tried to overkill on Verb being gay. And I get it. People talk about him being gay. He was in training videos and stuff like that. But at the same time, I just felt like he kind of went to that angle a little too much in the third. And I'm not saying that he didn't have good material in this battle. It was just, those are some of the things that you need to like kind of do a little bit better when you balance someone that is of Verb stature in this culture, and this is a battle that you want. And I feel like there's so much that you can talk about with Verb, and I just felt like those angles weren't angles that was going to go. Round one, JC starts off, he has a bar about half the culture think you talk to suspects, like Vlad TV. You know, Vlad TV talks to suspects, and then they end up arrested, and half the culture think you suspect. Okay, cool. You not someone that we fear since you backed out of the Jones battle. You'll never be taken serious here. Cool bar. Serious Jones. Okay, we get it. We had a Lonzo Ball bar that I played early in the clip.
Don't respect you. And what's more regretful is being 40 and can't deal with it. Real sickening. Imagine an imposter not being worth a free food voucher and still moving like he a meal ticket. See, this is why you're vanishing.
I don't feel like JC to start this battle gave you enough. He gave you some nice writtens. It sounded good, but I'm like, where the haymakers at? You know what I'm saying? So I felt like, and I felt like he didn't really get the crowd in the first round. And Calico even had to say at the end of his round, like, yo, clap it up. And he's in Michigan.
Your turn.
Make some motherfucking noise. Yeah.
Verb comes back in the first round. Verb's first round is, you know, you could tell that these are 2-minute rounds or something like that, 2:30 or something like that. And Verb took full advantage of his 2 minutes and 30 round.
I don't give a fuck about nothing. My shit split both in half. I had to lose what I love to chase what I'm supposed to have. Talk crazy. I'm into boxing that's bold. I don't make no posts with jabs. My backhand compliments till you still hit like open hands. I'm sorry.
He had a Vice Lord bar. He had a backhand compliment bar. He had a Young Ill bar that was fire, basically saying you like a Young Ill, but you're still infected. That shit was crazy. I like that a lot. So Verb clearly takes the first round and basically takes the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we in Michigan. He takes the crowd. And this is with JC rapping longer and Verb still having shorter rounds, but his rounds are so more effective.
My methods, I will say fuck anybody. Fuck your perspective. That ain't reckless. Where I'm from is respected if you're not selective. Check it. JC, this ain't your real image. You a reflection, ice pack. You was just a little ill who stayed infected. Putting the plug in you know. What?
JC comes back in the second round. He has a bubble bar about doing something in a bubble. He has an avalanche halo over A bar. That was a pretty nice flip. But this was his best bar of the second round. Probably his best bar of the battle, if I'm being honest.
I mean, we didn't even doubt I was killing you. We waited to the top of the summer to seek Verb out. I sat by like a vending machine to see how the chips fell. It was all about how spring turned out. I had my feet up.
Obviously, the card is called spring cleaning, and when the chips come out of the vending machine, the spring turns. So there was no doubt I was killing you. I waited to the top of the summer to seek Verb out. I sat back like a vending machine to see how the chips fell. It was all about how the spring turned out. That was fire. That was fire. That was his second round, right? Like I said, he had like a 6-minute second round. Verb only rapped for 2 minutes and 15 seconds in the second round. So the rounds are definitely very, there's a big disparity in the rounds, but Verb's second round is still fire. You know what I'm saying? Even with the lesser material. He has a drop shipping bar that's nice. He had a prom pick bar that was pretty cool. He had a cocoon little flip or whatever that was dope. And then he does a Showtime, and that's Verb's second round. If you give JC the second, it's kind of only because he rapped longer, and you know, 6 minutes to 2 minutes is a big difference. But I still feel like Verb gave you a good second round. But a lot of people got JC winning the second round, and I can't really be mad at that. You could argue he won the second round. JC comes back in the third. This is where he talks about the dildo, and I felt like he kind of like, it was cool. He was trying to basically say, Bonnie waved the dildo in your face, and you smiled. I didn't really think it hit like he probably thought it hit. He kind of carried it on a little too long, to keep it real with you. He had a Corinne, Stephen Curry bar that was kind of cool. It don't take that much to be a man. Try it once. You ran from Hitman like he was a licensed one. That was all right. He had a Karen flip that was kind of fire. I fuck with that.
Look, if I beef with one of mine, we clear it right. I hang up the phone and I'm there to ride. You tried contacting his boss. 2 different ways we show our Karen side. It's unusual. Oh my God!
And then he had a bar about, you know, Iran, Iraq, you know, the country or whatever, and trying to apply it to how he ran in a parking lot with the cast. That was JC third round. Verb's third round, he talked a little bit about the Chris Stokes video. It was kind of funny. I'm not mad at him using the angle just because, like I said, JC is using the gay angle so much. He also used the parking lot angle, so I feel like everybody's in this battle is pretty much using old angles.
When I heard that you had some kids, I was truly alarmed from it.
Hey, get the fuck on. I had kids.
Because what bitches see this shit and say, let's make some more of it.
He set that up, was funny. Basically saying JC as a kid, what kind of girl would look at you and be like, I want to have another one of you? That was funny. Shakira, J-Lo, he was basically saying, I get my moves from some gangsters. You get your moves from Shakira and J-Lo. And just lyrically, he just had a solid third round. So this battle is up in the air. If you got JC winning, it's just because he rapped longer. I'm going to be honest with you. I felt like Verb had more control of the battle. I felt like he had better writtens, if I'm being honest. He had better writtens. Like, it's not that JC didn't write well. It's just like, bro, you had to do more battling Verb. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just had to bring more to the table. And I felt like him, some of the stuff he rapped, like, he even rapped about how, like, Verb can't fight, and if my niggas done this, I'm just like, you not fighting Hitman either, bro. Like that's why I say about being able to sell your bars is just sometimes JC, you know what I'm saying? And some of it is image, is how you deliver your shit. JC comes up there with a yellow hoodie, a yellow jacket. I mean, like all that stuff just plays into your whole aura. You know what I'm saying? His aura ain't even what it need to be. But so that's just me. I thought JC had a good battle. I felt like for him to battle Verb, it needed to be great. I really don't have a lot of complaints about Verb's rounds at all. You know what I'm saying? You don't see me doing a lot of critiquing of Verb. I thought Verb's rounds, other than just him, probably could have gave you a little bit more to kind of match how JC was going over the time limit. But if Cal only booked this battle for 2-minute rounds, I can't really be mad. And I told you a problem with this battle. I said, we should have got this battle on URL. And I said, I hope this is not short rounds. And considering how pricey Verb is as far as the battle, taking a battle in Michigan, for him to be able to afford the battle, he was going to have to shorten the rounds to 2 minutes. And then we get this lopsided ass battle where JC's rapping 6-minute rounds and Verb's rapping 2. And then it's hard to judge the battle, but if I'm really looking at the battle, I actually prefer Verb's material more, if I'm just being honest. It's hard for me to say JC lost when he got a 17-minute battle compared to Verb's 9.5, but I actually like Verb's material better. So that's how I got the battle. ChrisUnbias, holla at your boy.
G2 is the third and last walk on at A14 medex